So I wanted to continue the discussion on why you don't see God's prophets, true prophets, in today's churches. I did speak on this briefly in this video right here, and I wanted to continue the discussion because we only have 10 minutes on this app and there's so much to be said. I want to set the record straight because you're not going to get this in church. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this message is going to be very controversial. I expect it to be. Let's start with the fact that you have to understand that true prophets, God's prophets, are the most persecuted. Out of all the gifts, the prophetic is the most isolated. They are the most hated. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but out of all the gifts, it's the prophet that can't be released, and they receive so much guidelines and oppression. They receive more oppression than any other gift in the body. Okay. So here's where the controversy starts. Here's the fact. From Genesis to Revelation, you will never find God's prophet seated up under a pastor, an apostle, or a bishop waiting for release. They were chosen and consecrated from the womb. They are God's mouthpieces. They do not need man's permission to speak what God has already put in them to speak. Let's talk about Jeremiah, for example. And I have my notes right here, so because I have a lot and I want to make sure I get everything in. Jeremiah was called by God and answered to God directly. You have to understand that priests and leaders opposed him. They imprisoned him for the messages that he would try to convey. He was called a liar by religious leaders. Okay. The people refused to listen to him because his messages were not popular. So this is why you're not going to see a lot of God's true prophets in a lot of these churches, because a lot of these churches are government approved. A lot of these churches have allowed the government to dictate their pulpit. A lot of your favorite religious apostles and bishops and prophets are more submitted to a U.S. government than they are God's. How do you know that your favorite leaders are operating from a Jezebel spirit? And let's talk about it, because a lot of you leaders like to demonize women and say that women carry Jezebel, when oftentimes the men and the leaders carry Jezebel. Oh,